There we go. We should be live. Live, I tell you.
It's still Cells waiting on Matthew Grace and me.
Oh, wait,
well,
we're getting something. Right. Yay!
Yeah.
We should be live.
We did it.
Live, I tell you. Live at the end of the tunnel. Live. All right. So, who can remember the shenanigans of last time?
Let's see.
We did it.
For some reason, we went to the Queen's castle again.
All right.
That was my
And
idea.
two of us got banished from there because we messed with the chest.
That Nightshine tried to trick Whisper into touching it.
Yes, you left the hidden city, but you didn't leave empty-handed though.
We got 1,000 XP.
Well, I was thinking more of physical things rather than XP.
Yeah, we did get. We found a sapphire and a little bit of money.
I'm apparently back.
Yep, you're back. And when you left the hidden city, it was still dark. And I believe you guys were settling down for nap time.
Mm-hmm.
Before you set off back towards the capital.
All right, so we can take our usual shifts. Milk, has the fire already been prepared?
Alexandra, did you and Lightning prepare a fire?
I would say we probably did.
There we go. Yes, there is a fire there.
All right. Milkfist will get some of the food that he found in the forest and prepares a meal for everyone.
Okay.
And as per usual, Milkfist will plan to take his shift at midnight.
All right. You spent a good time looking around the city, as well as trying to explore, trying to find out where your paladin and rogue had gone. So it's probably closer to midnight at the moment. So you'll probably be looking to do watch first.
Oh, we stayed late then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were in a town that didn't have day or night, so.
In that case, after everyone is fed and it's approaching the midnight hour, Milk Thistle goes off and begins singing and prepping his spells for the next day.
I need to double check a few things. Do roll me perception for your shift. You are there.
26.
What's it? Pretty damn good. No, wrong button. Okay. So, you continue to watch. It seems surprisingly quiet. Most of the time when you're normally on watches, there's at least some sort of noise or activity. But this one, it's surprisingly quiet. That's probably the oddest thing about it.
Is the wind blowing at all?
Yeah, there's a gentle breeze.
There's like no life moving about, no nocturnal creatures moving.
Yeah, there's none of that.
That is strange. All right. No one said who the next watch was going to be, so Milk Thistle walks up to Nightshine and taps him on the shoulder. Nightshine, wake up. Milk Thistle pokes him harder, shakes him. Wake up. It's your shift.
You sure?
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay.
It's very still and very quiet tonight. I listened carefully, but there's no movement out there at all. It's like there's no life in this part of the forest.
You're actually in the open plain at the moment.
Say that again?
You're in the open plain at the moment.
Open plain, okay. Yeah, there's this very clear lack of forest has no wood in it.
I'm going to do my watch.
If you're not planning to do anything, then you can just do your normal watch.
Yeah.
But again, yourself, you don't hear anything abnormal, and you also don't really notice any other noises.
Nice.
The lack of activity is a bit eerie. Who will you wake up?
Lining. Waking up.
Well, Lightning's not here, so you can't poke Lightning to do a watch for you.
He's gonna try to slap her awake. It's gonna work. So I'm gonna wake up Alex.
All right. Alexandra will wake up.
You did to Liney. She's now too tired to wake up.
Well, you left us alone for a few hours. Alexander will get up and do his watch.
Anything in particular you want to do on your watch, or are you just watching?
I'm just watching.
Okay. Well, you don't really notice anything. I mean, you sit there and watch the fire, you hear it crackling, you hear people snoring. That's probably about as much as you're going to hear.
All right.
You probably spend most of your time watching Lightning sleeping, to be honest.
I can see that, yeah. She did die and then get banished in the last couple of days, so
yeah, cool, a little bit stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Who will you wake up for the final watch? The sun is starting to rise, but you've not had a full sort of 8 hours rest, so you still you'll be sleeping into sort of the sunlight type thing.
All right, I'll wake up Whisper.
What?
We need you to do your watch.
Oh. Okay, I will. Just go back. Yeah, just go back. I'm gonna say more.
And Alexander will go back to Lightning.
What a mighty roll.
All right. You don't do too much, as much better than the rest of them, but the sun starts to come up. You feel the warmth of it. Looks like there are some clouds off in the distance that look like it could turn to rain, but other than that, there does not seem to be much else going on.
All right, is the whole party awake now?
It would move to where everybody would start waking up and ready to move out.
All right. Milk Thistle stretches, and since we're on the plains, is there any wood or just dry grass for us to work with?
It's just dry grass for you to work with. But you can go back into the hidden city, and there is a forest just on the other side. So you can technically go into the hidden city, get some wood, and come back out.
How much time would that take?
As much time as it takes you to create water twice and make 2 little fires.
Okay. Milk Thistle looks to the party and says, "I'll be right back. I'm going to get some wood." And he goes through the portal.
Leave me alone.
All right. You follow Milk Thistle, and we share the burden of carrying large stacks of firewood.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, we should probably pack more firewood, enough to fill the cart. That way we can have firewood if there's not going to be any wood here for a while. So yeah, we'll do that. Milk Thistle creates a mighty faggot and puts it on Nightshine's back, and then he makes a second faggot for himself.
Okay.
Get the bigger faggot.
Because I'm stronger than you. I can handle more faggots than you can.
Alexander's just gonna touch himself a bit.
We go through the portal again, and on the other side, you see Milk Thistle and Nightshine carrying 2 large faggots on their back.
Oh dear.
And they're put straight into the cart. Milk Thistle says, "We need to go back and get more wood for a fire now." So we go back, come back, and restoke the fire. Milk Thistle uses the ingredients he got and cooks some more food for everyone.
Don't forget, we do need to travel today.
You do.
It's a quick breakfast.
Yeah. I mean, you don't, with traveling, you are expected to do things like prepare spells, go off and hunt for food, collect food. So that's sort of taken up in your. That's why it's only an 8-hour traveling day, because you are considered at least 2 hours doing flaff, or potentially more. But once you are ready, and you can begin your travel. Whoever's navigating you to wherever you're planning to head to will need to make your checks to be able to get across land without getting lost.
Milk,
even though I got us lost in the woods, I'm pretty sure I'm the best talented and equipped for this job.
Okay.
All right. So unfortunately, not Nightshine, but Lightning is not here to fly to give us a +2, but I still have her Wayfinder, right?
Yes.
All right. Which direction are we going? Going to kind of southwest?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rolling, and a +2 to that for the Wayfinder would make it a 27.
All right. So you guys can either move at your normal pace, which I believe is about 30 feet, or you can attempt to move a bit faster during the day, like hustling or force marching, that sort of stuff. But every 2 hours you sort of push yourself, you can get at least another hex.
Milk Thistle's content to move at a moderate pace.
All right.
All right.
I believe then you can move yourself if you're going 30 feet, you can move yourself 4 hexes in a day.
All right, so moving us 1, 2. Oh, look, we found something. 3.
All right, so you actually enter a very small hamlet. That's just on the outskirts of the forest there. It's only a collection of about 15 buildings, and there is some small farmland around it. There are ponies that are working in the fields, but other than that, it just seems like a nice, small, quiet hamlet.
Everything looks normal, or does it? Milk Thistle's gonna roll perception to see what kind of ponies we're dealing with.
We have been here before.
Seems to be mostly a mixture of them. Mostly are earthbound, but you're definitely sure there's at least one Pegasi and unicorn here.
Are these all just farmers, or are any of them spellcasters? Is anyone? Are there any guards?
There doesn't seem to be any guards, as far as you can tell. Most of them seem to be farmers, at least the ones that you can see.
What about temples or churches? Do they have a church here?
Are you planning? Yeah, with that roll, you know that there's something that looks like a small shrine, but nothing that looks like a temple.
Okay. Shall we go into the hamlet?
Can't pass by there?
We've been there before, and I don't believe there was anything of note, but we can pass through.
All right, so should we just continue on then?
Yeah. I think so, with the invading army and such.
All right, so pushing through. Continuing to head in that direction. Is this a road that's going up to the northeast?
Yeah.
There is a road. Because you're on the road, you may travel an additional hex, because on the road it's a lot easier.
All right. Do we need to continue heading southwest, or do we need to head northwest?
We just need to follow the road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Since it's in our field of vision right here, is this the shrine?
No, that's that is marking the gravestone of somebody they buried.
Okay. Anyone important?
It was a follower that we hired.
No, that was the bat pony we kidnapped.
Well, at least they had the decency to bury him.
Yes.
No, I'm pretty sure that was.
He was with Dawn Rider.
Yeah. Berry is buried in the forest.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Where he was eaten by a tiger.
Since we got a late start in the day, I imagine it's getting pretty close to dark, or it may already be dark. Is that correct?
You're in summer, so it's more late in the evening, but the sun is still in the sky at the moment.
Okay.
But it is getting close. You can try going looking for things in the off the beaten road to help for supplies and stuff like that, but you're going to be limited because you are near the road.
Well, we definitely need to set up camp off the road, so that way nobody happens across us as we're trying to sleep. If we set up camp now, we can get a much earlier start in the morning and push a little bit further, so we'll be much better rested.
I'm in agreement with this.
All right. Ghost, any objection?
Nope.
All right. So yeah, we'll set up camp here tonight, and we'll move directly north off the road, about 100 yards.
You move off the road a good distance to. You still know where it is, but where the point where, unless somebody goes looking for you, they're not necessarily going to see you.
All right. Milk Thistle digs a fire pit, uses the dry grass as kindling, and starts a fire.
It's not difficult to get a fire going, given the dryness of the summer, and you soon have a little fire going, and you quite happily set up camp. All right. Are you still going to do watches if you're this close to the road?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the normal of you being woken up around about midnight, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Well, I won't get you all to start rolling again, but the night does pass safely. You do find it's a lot more lively and active. At least around here, you can hear the odd creatures that are moving around you, so it definitely feels more normal and natural.
Okay, it may have just been the proximity to the portal that caused life to kind of move away from the area.
Yeah, I would say so.
But you each have your watch, and the night does go peaceful. Be that because you're this close to a major city point or you're near the road, who knows? But the next morning will come, and you guys are ready and refreshed for some more travel along the road.
All right.
Because you're following a road, you do not need
to follow the road. Wherever it goes.
If you plan to go off the road, then I will require a survival check.
No, we're just gonna follow the road.
Following the road. All right.
That's fine.
How many spaces do we move?
You want a road, so you can move 5.
All right, 5. 1, 2, 3. We found something.
We found the train station.
And
yes.
Other roads.
It looks long and abandoned. You also seen farmlands ahead of you as well.
I take it y'all have been here before too?
Yeah, I believe we have.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything noteworthy here worth inspecting, or should we just continue?
It just looks like a train station right next to the strange-looking railway line what goes through here.
All right. So are we still following the road to the northwest?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 2 more spaces. 1. Oh, we got 2 choices here. We've got communism to the north and theology to the west. Do we really need to go to communism?
Yeah.
Right,
those represent farmland and stuff, where it's yielding the most crops, basically.
Oh, correct.
The city is just to your west.
Yeah, we're heading to the city. Might as well go there. We've had enough distractions. Go and look at night shot.
Communism.
Distraction, wink, wink.
You go to the city. Oh no, we're surrounded by communism.
Alright, let's grab you guys and throw you on the city map for this place. Here we are. I might have to add a few new icons.
Little did we know this was actually a gulag.
Who?
A very large and prosperous gulag, but a gulag nonetheless.
My wife.
Oh no, I remember this place from watching the streams.
It's great to see Opal's
what horrors do you remember?
is on fire.
Marriage.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the Great Park. I remember that.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember.
Lots of round stones were found that day.
Yes.
All right.
A symbol
you guys will enter the city from the east gate. Oh, hi, Doug.
Whisper, did you see where the rest of our party went to? They just disappeared as soon as we walked in.
I don't know where they went.
This is a strange place. Be on your guard. Oh, Alexandra, there you are. We were just talking about you. And
Thanks.
Damn it. God.
You guys can either use this tool to represent you're all in the same place, or you can move yourself individually to show where you guys are. The rest of the party have been here many times before, and I will leave it to them to determine where you lot are planning to go, and let them be your guides.
All right. Milk Thistle brought everyone through the wilderness, so he'll pass it off to the party who's been here before.
All right.
What time of day is it?
It's actually drawing into sort of the late afternoon sort of time. So the sort of playtime you would expect shops and stuff are starting to close up for the day.
Should we go check on Opal?
Who is she?
Ah, she's lovely. Burn down her house.
I don't think she would be happy to see you then in that case.
Oh, like, lightning burned down her house.
Doom Rider burned down her house.
Lightning did.
Well, regardless. Alexandra, do you want to take the lead and...
All right, we can go to Opal's, see if we can get a room there, and if not, we can try a different tavern or inn.
All right, so there are some guards at the gate. They do sort of let you pass, but they clearly sort of watch you as you enter in. But other than that, you are free to roam around the inside as much as you like. The city does seem to be sparsely populated as you first go in, but the closer you get to the centre, the more populated it feels.
Alexandra is going to go to one of the guards and ask what's going on. The city is much more populated than the last time we...
No, it's about the same as previously.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I guess I just thought that was odd.
No, well, it's odd for a city this size not to have not to be bustling all the way through, but it's not odd from previous times you've been here.
All right.
I think you've been distracted through other means when you've been here before.
Yeah. All right, we'll just push our way and head towards whatever Opal's new tavern is, if she made.
Well, you gave her money to rebuild her old one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to remove the fire from her tavern.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's internally on fire.
She's just forever looking at the fire.
All right, so you all make your way down to Opal's Tavern. It's clearly in the process of being rebuilt. There's clear signs of scaffolding up and everything, and it's looking close to almost completion, but it's still got a little bit to go.
Okay. So I take it we can't get a room yet.
I mean, you could just go in and bum in there basically, but it's not open for business yet.
Okay.
Could we go to Lightning's house?
Yes, you do know where Lightning's house is.
Let's see, we can also do...
Lightning would at least suggest that to you, probably, Alexandrite, if they don't want to go there. But it'd be up to the rest of you if you also want to go.
We could do Lightning's house. We could also do the Great Temple.
The Great Temple doesn't normally house people. It's a great temple, but not really somewhere you can go and sleep.
Okay.
Unless you are a member of the clergy there, then there would be various places they would potentially.
It's a great temple, not a super temple.
Well,
I just remember like staying over there a lot during last time we were.
I would certainly like to go to the Great Temple. I assume the nightmares were there.
Yes.
Yes, it's a temple that houses shrines to all the gods.
You can make a knowledge religion to see what you know of this the temple, which is known as the All Seasons Temple.
Milk Thistle actually does not have knowledge religion.
Oh.
What?
Ah,
What else is worth worshipping besides the Nightmare herself? She's all the knowledge I need.
the other thing you can use is knowledge local to just know about various places. If you don't have that,
Which he doesn't have either.
okay. So all you know is it's called the All Seasons Temple.
I heard knowledge local. That's my specialty.
Oh. Well, show off. What can you do?
Well,
Rolls and bones.
knowledge local.
It ain't bad.
Okay, so the information you can throw out in regards to the All Seasons Temple was you know that it was built and shaped out of solid marble. No expense was spared in the construction of it, as well as the upkeep of it. It was molded and shaped with the help of magic as well. And you also know that the Queen herself helped in its construction.
So what I'm understanding that it wasn't to make that temple.
Sorry, say that again?
It wasn't cheap to make that temple.
Definitely not cheap.
Do you share that information with the party?
Yes.
You would also no. I would say you need to visit that one really to know that. You do know that all of the pony pantheon is represented there.
I would explain that to the party.
Milk Thistle is visibly excited. He's like, "Oh, stonemasonry. I must insist on going there. If not now, then later tonight. It's been a while since I've worshipped with my brothers."
Well, I'm going to the town hall. You could. It's on the way.
All right, let's be on our way.
All right.
All right. Do you guys have control of "You Are Here" token?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if everyone else was following us to temples and towns and such like that. All right, so we should probably drop player tokens off then.
Well, other people can move there. So, whoever's going to the All Seasons Temple may feel free to move your icons there. If you're not planning to go to the All Seasons Temple, you can indicate where you plan to go.
I follow Nightshine.
I was going to the temple actually.
Well, then
All
I'm
right.
following Nightshine.
Okay.
So everybody go to the temple.
Everyone's at the temple.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, with entering the temple, as you enter in, the temple itself radiates outwards. The center hall is a place where all the pantheon is holds equal status, with each pantheon holding a different wing to represent them. So you have the Ascendancy Hall, which houses the Unspoken One and Princess Luminance. You have the what's it called? You have the Sun Hall, which represents the Sun Queen and Blaze. You have the Moon Hall, which represents the Moon Princess and the Nightmare. And finally, you have the Hall of Love, where Kara is.
Milk Thistle begins heading toward the Nightmares Temple.
You actually, as you start heading towards that wing, that seems to be the most active wing at this point in time, which is not surprising given that the day is starting to run low and and soon to be night.
I actually need to talk to the I think it was the head priestess of the Luminance.
Yes, I believe they were called Bookworm, if I remember correctly. I might be mistaken. I've put my notes here.
I think that the Wishful Pen was the one we brought with us.
Yes, got horribly murdered.
Well, she's back now.
Well, you shoot him anyway. I mean, if that was the real Still Prism and he wasn't just hiding his alignment, you know, all those fun things.
Dear God.
Look, I've had this like betrayal last night. I don't need it today.
No, I'm just well, I would say I'm screwing with you, but am I? But anyway, you guys head to the Luminance Wing, and Milk Thistle will head towards the Moon Wing.
The Moon Wing.
Are you also going to the Moon Wing?
Yeah.
For those of you who are going to the Moon Wing, it's quite clear that they are starting to get ready for their sort of first evening ceremony. They do have a separate section for both the Nightmare as well as the Moon Princess, so you won't have a shared ceremony, so you can go to your separate wings inside the Moon Wing.
Nightshine, you should join me.
You see, I should not. I'm scared.
As well, you should be. The nightmare is all about fear. But once we fear her, we needn't fear anything else.
I have to fear Alex.
Alexandra, why?
I don't think they like me anymore after yesterday for some reason.
What happened yesterday?
Do you remember how I made... No, not yesterday. When we were inside the place. And lightning touched the thing. And he blamed me for it.
Alexandrite seems the kind to forgive quickly. But join me in the Nightmare's Temple. You'll enjoy it.
Just wait till I turn anti-paladin.
Here's the thing. I think the Moon Princess visited me. I think I should go to her side.
Well, the Nightmare visits me. And since I'm with you, that means she is here with you as well. You should pay homage to her.
I could do for both.
But you'll miss the start of the ceremony.
I know. Shame.
Well, if you change your mind, I'll be in here.
Okay.
With the two separate wings within your side, there is a distinct difference between sort of like the Nightmare and the Moon Princess's wings, and you can tell whose side is whose definitely just by looking at it, as well as by the decorations and the decor in regards to it. The Moon Princess's is definitely a lot more a brighter feeling. A lot of like white light and sort of almost like the glow of the moon sort of feel. Where with the Nightmare, it's definitely got that more of a darkness feel to it. That more the statues in there are definitely the sort of things that would give lesser folk potential nightmares, make them feel uneasy, and on that side.
Does my holy symbol have any change in its effect?
No, your holy symbol won't have any visible change at this current point in time.
Okay.
But given that I'm assuming you have it open on display and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's always in front.
Cool. You will be. There will definitely be the clergy there. As you go in, they are sort of nodding to those who obviously do come in, and the fact that you do wear the symbol openly, you're greeted. You're greeted more openly as an individual in regards to everybody else, where they're more greeted almost like a mass coming in, but you were given sort of a more of a welcoming for showing your symbol openly, as clearly you are an individual who understands fully of the nightmare, rather than coming in here and praying in regards to fear, where you probably get a sense that's probably where most people are coming in for, is that side of things, not wanting to suffer her wrath.
Yeah, Milk Thistle smiles warmly at the clergy that's there to greet him. And he asks, is there any selected seating arrangement here, or can I sit where I wish?
You can sit where you wish, but they will have, there are seats up front for those who wish to be up front. It's not often that individual, most of the crowd doesn't go fully up front, mostly sit a few steps back. Unless they're part of the clergy, then they tend to sit right up front.
All right. As Milk Thistle is walking through the crowd up to the front, who is the most frightened person in the group?
Roll me perception. See what you pick out. See if you can find the most frightened. Right. So you definitely will pick out, as your eye scan, a mare who definitely looks out of place and definitely is sort of walking through slowly and sort of like almost eyes sort of darting between the various nightmarish statues as you come. She does sort of find a seat quite close to the back and on the edge, almost like she's ready to just spring up and run away.
Milk Thistle approaches her and smiles warmly. How old is she?
She looks like she is in her adult years, probably in her late 20s.
Greetings, child. What brings you here?
She sort of a little bit of deer in headlights, and sort of almost wasn't expecting anyone to approach her. She stammers and sort of goes, I just wanted the bad dreams to go away, and I thought, well, coming here may help.
The bad dreams can certainly be helped, but you know they're not necessarily a bad thing. Normally through nightmares, the nightmare herself is trying to communicate with us. So you've certainly come to the right place.
I hope so.
But come, sitting in the back is no place for you. If you're getting nightmares, perhaps they're a vision, you should be up front.
Okay. She will almost reluctantly go up front, but clearly doesn't want to disagree.
And Milk Thistle walks closely with her. He's not trying to have an intimidating poise about him. He's actually trying to be comforting with her. So sits down next to her, and he opens up his book with his spells in it, and it's also got a bunch of writings and teachings about the nightmare herself. Not a full doctrine of her, but specifically regarding the nightmares. And so Milk Thistle goes over nightmares that he has encountered and the visions and the messages that the nightmare has given him.
Okay. So trying to help interpret her dream.
Yeah. So
do
tell
you
me,
have? Do you have a profession to do with fortune telling or seeing or anything like that?
I do not. My profession is stonemasonry.
Stonemasonry. Okay.
Which I would also like to roll real quick just to. I do know that the granite is, definitely not easy to work with.
It's quite clear this is entirely marble.
Marble.
It's marble. You're having a hard time trying to work out the exact points of how it was crafted. It's something you definitely have to spend probably a good day going over it or talking to somebody who knows more in regards to it to get a better understanding of what's going on here.
But still, being that it's stone worked and built in such an extravagant way, I'm still very impressed with it.
Oh yeah. All right, so you sit with her and you start the process of trying to interpret her dreams as best as you're able to do so. As you sit and interpret, I'm going to jump over to our people who are going to go and poke the Luminance followers.
That would be me.
Yes. Were you going by yourself, or was Whisper following?
Whisper is free to follow if he wishes.
Or is Whisper following Night to the Moon Princess?
No, at this point he would have stopped Night and is now just admiring the scenery thing of the place.
All right, I will, once we've done Alexandrite, I'll jump to see if you guys do anything in particular, and then we'll finish up with Milk Thistle.
Okay.
All right, so Alexandrite, it definitely looks like they are winding down for the evening. There's still a few individuals who seem to be in there quietly reading, but it doesn't appear as busy, and there's not as many clerics around, but there are still Lushnatan clerics.
The person I talked to before was Bookworm, right?
Yes,
Right.
that was the cleric.
So yeah, I'll ask for her by name.
The individual you speak to goes, "The hour is late. Can I ask what it's concerning?"
It is just a report on Wishful Pen.
Oh, I see. She has a look around and clearly doesn't see Wishful Pen, so doesn't ask any more. And well, if I will see if they will speak to you. Please, as she gestures towards the sort of bookshelf to the side, read a book while you wait. And she will head off to go and find the individual you wish to speak to.
All right, I will go glance at the books, see if there's anything that catches me.
It's mostly a fiction section in there, so stories, all sorts of things.
I would take the most nightly the fairy tale section.
Fair enough. Hang on. I'm going to go get a quick drink before I do bookworm. I'm back in just 2 seconds.
Okay.
Alexander was like, Don Quixote. Oh, man, I should make that a character.
Oh.
I'm so doing that. Yeah. It's gonna be what's the donkey race in Ponyfinder? No, not Cloven.
Pure?
Impure. Thank you. Yes.
Impure. All the racism.
Yes. Sorry, I just made the joke Don Quixote, and then I was like, oh my god, that is such a good impure character.
All right. You're left reading. You probably get through the first chapter of your book before Wishful Pen comes down to see you, and she walks up to you. You said you had news of one of my faithful students. I see they're not with you. Is there anything to be concerned?
Well, not anymore. I was originally going to bring their body to you, but we've managed to get them resurrected with the help of a paladin.
And where are they at the moment?
They are right now with that paladin.
Okay, and where is this paladin? And who is this paladin?
I'm now just trying to remember what the place is called. They're on Mare's Reach, and the paladin's name is Steel Prison.
Let me just see. As the cleric has their knowledge history roll. I'm sorry. You sure about that name?
I am.
I'm sure he's long past from this world, given he was last seen towards the end of when the Empire fell.
Yes, that's what I thought too. But do you remember the reasons why we left and had your paladin follow or your cleric follow?
I recall the paperwork as it was passed to me. Yes.
Well, we were looking to stop a demon, and that demon was looking for a stone of immortality, basically.
I see.
And that stone came into the possession of Steel.
Well, it sounds like we definitely need to update some of our information then. Please, if you come with me, I would like to get a full report of what's happened, as you clear a lot of history that we might need to update.
Yes, fair enough. I will give the report that Wishful Pen could not. So yeah, I'll give I'll tell everything that happened between last time we were here and now.
Cool. As you're giving your report, you probably will halfway through, after finishing probably key moments, remember that Still asked you to keep his position quiet, and so no one knows he's still alive.
I obviously didn't remember that.
Obviously. But the damage is done now. But you've at least told the Luren's followers. I'm sure they won't share knowledge or anything like that.
This is why I don't like to roleplay when I'm tired.
Aren't you always tired?
No, I nap all the time, so I don't get tired.
Ah, every hour is a nap hour.
You should see the image that somebody did.
Well, would you look at the time?
Are you with us, Knight?
99 typed, be right back.
Yeah, I did see it. I was seeing it. He must have not long gone. So obviously, Alexandra, you sit and share the information with the Luminous followers. Milk Thistle, obviously you sit and begin to help this individual attempt to interpret their dream. You don't have any formal skills with this other than your own knowledge of the nightmare and the books that you have on on the subject that most normal priests would have. So it's more of a loose interpretation. Is the sort of best thing you can. And with most sort of limitations, things can be quite open and a little bit vague. But as you sort of transition to a close, when the will begin.
You're breaking up pretty bad. I'm having a hard time following you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't have any formal training. I'm just showing her about the generalities of the nightmare herself, and then what happens?
Excuse me. The actual ceremony will begin as you sort of come towards the end of your interpretation.
Okay. Well, what I do encourage her to do is, ma'am, I don't have formal training in interpreting dreams. That's not what I specialize in. But I do encourage you to continue coming here and further your worship of the nightmare. And don't do it for selfish reasons to make the nightmare stop. The nightmare is not a deity who will do things on a whim just because she's asked nicely. The nightmare serves those who serve her. She will help you, she will guide you, but be studious and learn as much about her as you can. So, encouraging
she
her.
Gives a nod to that.
What does she give?
A nods ahead, basically.
Okay. The Milk Thistle closes his book and sits up straight for the beginning of the ceremony.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. So, I mean, the ceremony itself is definitely going to be one of the most sort of definitely more grand and more impressive ceremonies you've been to. They definitely use mood, lighting, as well as magic as part of the effects to definitely bring a very strong sense of fear at the beginning of things, and they definitely hammer home in regards to, yes, fear is something that many individuals are afraid of, and they will give lots of examples of things to be afraid of, but they will hammer home that once one has conquered their fear and understands how to harness the power of fear to then push that back onto others to help control or bring others into their own power, can they fully thrive and push past their own petty fears.
A lesson well learned.
I mean, that seems to be the sort of more generic theme of at least of this particular ceremony. In regards to Knight, is he back?
Have you returned, Nightshine?
Hello.
No.
You're a bitch.
He is. All right. Well,
the GM said so.
Obviously, he will enjoy his Moon Princess ceremony. Hers is definitely a lot different. Definitely more light, more cheerful. It's all about the Moon Princess protecting those under her, ensuring that they're protected from the horrors that from outside, as well as what might lie inside their minds. And they do go round and they do sprinkle holy water to help protect those from nightmares and that sort of thing. So there's a lot more emphasis on protection and looking after one's friends and family.
Yeah, I would actually like if I could ask the priestess to redact like the things about steel if she is going to write anything down, because he did ask me to not to
She
mention.
gives you a nod and goes, redact? Why would we hide information? Information should be shared.
Not if it's information that can get someone killed, or in
information.
Tragedy.
You do not know that. Hiding the information might get people killed. So we should note down everything and see what happens. There's no point hiding information if just because of what may or may not happen. The information should be free for those to learn and share.
Yes, but there's those who would seek to use this information to hunt down steel.
And there may be those that will use this information for good, for protection, to help. If it was not information you wanted to be shared, I mean, you should have kept it to yourself. Once it's entered into the knowledge of Luminous, then it is knowledge for all.
Being a bitch.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just Alexandrite not hearing me. You still with us, Alexandrite?
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, last thing I said was yes, but there are people hunting down steel and could use this information to take what he's trying to protect.
She will counter-argument and go, but there might be those that may use this information to help protect or support, or even ensure that the forces of good move in the right direction. There are two sides of this, but I'm afraid once knowledge has been passed on to a follower of Luminance, the knowledge will be shared for all those who wish to learn.
I see that people like to speak.
How shameful for a paladin to break a promise.
How could he?
Disgusting.
Oh, hey.
Welcome back,
Right.
Akshan.
Do you want to know a little bit about what the Moon Princess ceremony was about?
I did manage to hear a tiny bit. Magic.
Yes, well, I mean, not as much magic as what probably the Nightmare used, but they have holy water go around to help bless people from protection from nightmares and what have you, and to wish them a more.
If I cannot convince you to redact this information, could I at least ask you to slowly spread it out?
It would be, well, we will have to amend a number of books that are currently out. It will take time. I mean, it won't be the talk of everybody right away, but it's will definitely spread within time.
Well, I guess that is all I can ask. So thank you for that.
And we'll be in contact with Wishful Pen, and we'll hopefully get some information about firsthand on what's been going on with Steel Prism, as he at points played a strong part in the Empire, as well as many other individuals, and it is not often that information from those individuals were stored.
Oh, perhaps if you're lucky, you can get a personal interview.
Well, that's what Wishful Pen will be doing, hopefully.
Anyway, I seek information as well. Do you happen to know about the ruminants?
We know that there were a race that once dwelled upon Everglow long before us, and back in the time when elves were over this land. But the knowledge of them is limited.
Well, it seems we might be dealing with them. What do you know?
They seem to be a race of deer-like creatures. They lived in cities, much like what we do, as far as the information that we have. But little is known what actually happened to them. We believe it was some sort of great catastrophe. The same thing what drove the elves away. But I'm afraid little has been dug up about them. Occasionally we might get the odd relic that comes our way and we can put some information to it. We know they had gods at one point that seemed to revolve around the seasons. They tend to be quite free-spirited folk, as far as we can tell. If not, maybe a little bit fearful of things.
Do you happen to have any books on them?
We have limited writings. The best place to secure that information would be at the library. But you probably won't learn much more than what I've already shared, I'm afraid. Most of the information was taken by the Empire itself, and fear that a lot of its knowledge has been lost when everything started to collapse in on itself after the Queen died.
Do you know anything about this great catastrophe that...
I do not. I mean, there was nothing that was written that we knew other than words used to describe such an event, but no finite details. The only other thing I can tell you is that we often unearthed strange magical items occasionally, but nothing of that has been shared other than the airship that once stood inside the Luminance's library.
There are ruins to the... around here, right?
I do not know of any ruins personally, but there are clearly will be some somewhere in Everglow.
I'm just like, damn it, the person who should know everything, like, hasn't given me any information that's useful.
I can see the frustration upon your face, but I'm afraid we were only barely starting to learn about them, and when things started to fall apart, many of the information that we started to learn was sadly lost, and or if it was found, it wasn't put somewhere where knowledge could be stored and shared with others.
I see. Well, thank you for your time. Alexander is going to do that.
If you do find any valuable information, I'm more than happy for you to come to us, and we were more than happy to hear of it.
If I have anything of note, I will come.
All right. So, upon that, each of you will finish probably roughly at the same sort of time, and you can, as you leave, you'll probably meet up again in the central area. Milk Thistle. The
Yes.
clerics will tell you that there is a special ceremony held at midnight if you wish to return.
He smiles warmly at them and says, "Absolutely. I look forward to it." Is it open to the public or strictly for those who worship her exclusively?
It is open for those who wish to worship, but we don't tend to allow those who just want to watch. You have
Understood.
to participate to take part, to join us.
Understood. Oh, and Milk Thistle lets them know about the mare that sat up front with them, and let them know she's been having nightmares. And I explained to her how the nightmare herself can communicate to us through them. I encouraged her to continue coming back here and begin worshiping the nightmare instead of just trying to get the nightmares to stop. But she could certainly use some guidance.
If she returns, then we will see to it that that she's spoken to. But nightmares currently seems to be a common thing. At least it has been starting to increase in the last few days.
Really? For the entire city?
We're unsure at this moment, but it's definitely been a little bit more than normal.
The nightmare hasn't communicated with me directly in several days. I haven't been having nightmares. Have you?
I have not.
How strange.
This is why I believe it. If it is anything, it is an outside, and those strong of will are protected.
I'll ask around and see if it's afflicting anyone else. I'll return at midnight.
May you walk. What would be the nightmare's sort of parting goodbye? May you walk fearlessly in the dark.
And may the shadow envelop you and make you strong.
All right. With that, all of you will meet up with each other out in the sort of large entrance area where all the wings connect.
Would Town Hall be open at this time?
Given how most town halls operate, unlikely.
Whisper, did you go to any of the temples?
No. I did not go to any of the temples.
I thought you joined Knight.
No, I was following Knight. I didn't join him. I was just wandering about the place.
All right, so you just basically had a nose and look at each of them.
Yeah.
I'll give you a brief overview of the rest of the wings. So you had, in the Ascendancy halls, you had Luminance, which is almost looks like a a library slash place of worship. You had the unspoken one, which didn't really look much like a temple at all. I mean, some people might, if you walk into there, might think you've walked into a very odd art gallery with the fact that the furniture is arranged in facing all the chairs in different directions. It's definitely not the sort of place you would normally think of as a place of worship. You've got the Sun Hall, which is split again into the Sun Queen and the Blaze. It's very quiet there, but the artwork and the depictions are very much bright in your face, and you're quite sure if you return when it's probably at high noon or very bright, that the colours and the light inside here would probably be magnificent. I've described what the moon side of it looks like, and the the Love Wing. May I have a look at this? So with the Love Wing, the one thing what stands out to you is there's no choice. There is only one deity in this area, where all the others had two, and it leads to Kara Shrine.
The whole wing to herself. It's favoritism.
Yeah. But after all that, each of you will meet each other again in the entrance hall. So you have to decide where you plan to go next, or what to do next.
I would like to report to the town hall about the upcoming attack, but that's probably not going to happen until the morning, so we should probably go.
Is this the city that's being threatened?
It is.
Oh. Well, I don't imagine it'd be difficult to find out where the mayor lives. If there's a mayor, a city council, a tribune, we should inform them immediately.
Yeah, actually, who would be the next person to talk to that might we can probably reach?
Well, your knowledge of the political structure of the city is sounds like it's lacking, so you're unsure of who is even in charge or where you would need to speak to.
Can we ask Lightning?
Lightning should know, but I don't know how much information she recalls or how much she would actually fully share. But I would say she would inform that it's a council made up of different nobles that actually run the city.
Well, we're here at the temple. They no doubt would know who's in charge of running the city because they have to deal with them.
It's likely somebody may.
Yeah, Alexandria, why don't you just simply ask?
Sorry, I was switching positions. What was that?
Since the temple likely deals with whoever's in charge of the city, a council, the mayor, whoever, they likely would know. So why don't you just ask?
I suppose I can. Alexander will go do that and ask whoever's up now. Who's the person in charge? Who are they?
Where are you going to ask this question?
That temple there with the strange chairs looks helpful.
I was just gonna go back to the Luminance priest.
Oh, right. So they will be very helpful. You were like, what do you want to know about the council members?
Particularly where they live, what they might be like, how we can get them.
Oh, they live in the noble section. There's a few of them, but you normally have to set up an appointment at the town hall to see them. And it's not often they hold their council meetings, but if it's important enough, then they might. But you can petition to see particular ones if you wish.
Well, this is an emergency. We need to see them immediately.
If it's an emergency, I mean, you can. She sort of thinks, obviously, well, I would say go to the town hall and sort out the importance of it. If not, I mean, you could go and talk to the guardhouse at the entrance at the nobles and see if they'll let you in. But it would probably have to be something very important for them to consider that, especially at this late hour.
Whisper, do you still have your letter?
Yes, of course.
Let's be on our way then.
All right. So we're going to the guards.
Yeah, since that's who we have to speak to first to get to the nobles.
All right. I'll just drag the we are here.
All right. So, surprisingly enough, the guards will probably recognize some of you. Given your whole stunt with the unliving and stuff, and your paladin being locked in jail for a short period of time, they are familiar with some of the party. And you are halted at the gate, and he looks over most of you, and then turns to Milk, Thistle, and Whisper, and will ask the pair of you, "Are you with this one?" Pointing towards Alexandrite.
We are.
Which one is in charge of this band then?
I gonna point to Whisper.
Why are you always so quick to put other people in charge?
The guard looks at Whisper, and
Whisper,
it goes,
you're the one with the Whisper. You're the one with the message, so deliver it.
I have a very urgent message to give.
Right. And how can we help you with this?
I would like to go. Who was it again?
That was the noble council.
So we need to go see the noble council.
Yes, we're trying to convince the guard that it's important enough for us to.
Please, sir, we need to go see the noble. I have a message for them that is very. If you you need some clarification of this message, I have a letter on. And
well, yes. I mean, I'm not going to go about disturbing anyone at this hour, just for some adventurers who are waving a bit of paper saying they have a message.
Whisper, tell him who the message is from.
I show him the message.
He takes the note and reads over it. They look up. The two guys there look over it and read over it and sort of eye it with a little bit of suspicion, and goes, "Is this a joke, or are you legitimate?"
I am telling the truth.
We would have to verify it first. I mean, It's got some sort of seal on it, but we would have to verify it with someone to make sure it is from this king of Caddiston.
And I suggest you verify it as soon as possible.
How long will this may take?
It depends who's awake still, and who will be willing to verify it at this hour.
Ah.
Milk Thistle speaks up. Oh, by all means, take your time. Perhaps when the enemy is at your gate, launching ballistas and destroying your town and razing it to the ground and your people are dying, perhaps then you could ask them to stop so you can verify that they really are your enemy. Wake the nobles up. Let them decide for themselves if it's important or not.
You want to do intimidate or diplomacy with that?
We'll do an intimidation check.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, your words definitely leave them a little rattled, and obviously the one who's more senior, who basically goes, go to the captain. He should have a book with everything in, and give you the quickest one.
What time of day is it right now?
The sun has set, so it is dark at this point.
Has the moon risen yet?
Just about, just sort of in its early stages of doing it, of rising.
Okay.
How
much longer until the midnight ceremony?
You have about 3 hours.
Okay.
He will disappear off quickly. You lot are left waiting for half an hour until the two ponies return. It is a familiar-looking captain that you guys dealt with previously. As he approaches, he looks at both Alexandrite, Knight, and probably Lightning, and just goes, "Oh God, not you lot again."
I wave.
Yes, we wouldn't be bothering you here if it wasn't important.
I can tell that you already met these three.
Yes, we have met them. They did some work for a noble here and caused quite a ruckus, trying to protect skeletons.
Mwah.
I trust the skeletons are destroyed.
No.
What?
They were released out into the wild by this lot.
What?
Milk Thistle turns his head very slowly and glares at Alexander.
Whisper's just giving a look of to Alexandrite.
Night Child will also give a look to Alexander.
You were there. Trust me, if it wasn't for the fact that these were not normal skeletons, I would have destroyed them.
The undead all need to be destroyed. That was irresponsible of you. I would expect a paladin to understand that.
And he even attacked a number of my soldiers, trying to prevent them from doing their duty.
Well, Captain, my name is Milk Thistle. I can assure you that if any necromancy is done around me, you will put a stop to it.
And I am Whisper, and no, I do necromancy.
Well, let's hope you'll knock some sense into this lot. So you started bringing messages waving imminent attack.
No Thistle points to the ghost pony. This one did.
Well, before we start alerting any ability, what sort of numbers are we looking at?
1,000.
Sorry, say that again.
11,000.
Are the human armies really that large?
There's a big.
I'm gonna sense movement in you.
He gives a bit of a the sort of look of oh shit sort of look to mind.
Is Nightshine telling the truth in those numbers?
Yes.
You were given an estimate what had shown up when you were there already. I think even the when you went to Cadiston and stuff, you had an idea of what sort of you would potentially deal with based on what Dolan told you when he went scouting. Yeah. So some of that may have remained in Cadiston. You don't know.
Does anyone remember what Dolan said the numbers were?
He said, yeah.
I'm having a hard time hearing you guys, dude.
11,000.
Okay.
Sorry, let me move closer to my mic. Is that better?
That's much better. Thank you.
Right. Well, how far away are they?
According to the letter, they were moving very quickly. They've already overtaken this Jonathan Greaves city.
So they've taken Cadiston. How long ago did they leave from Cadiston? Hold on. Whisper, you would know. I would tell you in a second. I'm just going to work out the days. You would estimate roughly about 18 days ago.
Roughly 8 they did.
8 days or 18 days?
18 days.
Armies are very conspicuous and move slowly. So if you send out scouts, no doubt you'll see them coming.
Yes, probably. But even if we see them coming, we don't have the pony power to repel that sort of invasion. Obviously, the walls of the city is going to help, but we don't have the numbers to deal with that sort of thing.
Do you have any allies who would come to your aid?
The city's been an island for a number of many years. It is unlikely that anyone will, any ties that the Empire once had, even hold true.
And what about your airship?
Airship? I don't recall that being part of my armory.
What?
Oh, that was Emma running away.
We lost Whisper.
Whisper.
Yeah, it's like, shit, the person who obsessed about the airship is not here, so I'm just like, I can't remember who had the...
Last information we had, it was inside the Luminance library.
Inside the Luminance library.
That was taken many years ago.
Was that the only one?
Well, there's only ever been one.
Sorry, this is me out of character going like, where the fuck did we get information that there was another one?
Well, basically, he still told you information he knew from about 50 years ago. And we're now realizing, oh, wait, stuff has happened since then.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruno.
That was basically somebody having old information, giving it to you as it was like new information. All he has is old.
And then Amber jumped the gun and thought there was another one, and then we were planning to steal it. Okay.
Yes. Wishful thinking, right? Mm-hmm. Only.
All right. Do we have a room that I can?
Well, it will take some time to see to them woken and brought to a point of meeting. You can stay in the guardhouse for the moment. I don't want, you three, pointing to Nightshine, Alexandrite, and Lightning, wandering around a section at this point in time. And once they have been woken and made aware of the current situation, then we will escort you to
I love it.
He gestures towards the guardhouse for you guys to basically wait in there for a bit.
Right. Does there happen to be a map of Caliston? Or not Caliston, village or town there?
In where?
In the guardhouse?
No, there does not. There's no map just hanging up.
Okay. Do we have a map of village or town?
Nope.
Yeah, how am I supposed to draw battle plans if you don't have a map?
Well, you have to get one.
Alright, ask one of
the captain will disappear off to obviously start alerting the nobles. That's going to take a little bit of time.
So I'm going to ask one of the people watching us if we can get a map of the city and the surrounding area.
Probably not. The other one goes, not at this hour. I mean, there's definitely shops that sell that sort of thing.
Does the guard shack not have its own map of the city?
There's not one out on display anyway.
Would you kindly retrieve a map for us? We'll wait here. We just need to help start making preparation.
I'm sure everything will be sorted out for when you meet the nobles. There's no map I can give you to start messing around with.
Milk Thistle looks to Alexandrite again. I can see you've made good friends here. They trust you greatly.
Milky?
Yes?
Leave those books we found with me, so I can start reading them.
That's a good idea. Milk pulls out the 10 books and lays them out.
Put 9 in my saddlebag and read the other one.
What are these?
These are the books we retrieved from the library. They possess all the information we need regarding the revenue.
Should we not all read them while we wait? That way we can get more information quickly.
Do you want me to read out loud?
Hello.
It's me.
Hello, Lightning.
No, I do not wish you to read out loud. I wish to read also. So
wait, what's going on?
They're going to see the nobles.
Oh, we're with the nobles?
Yes.
Well, about to tell them the impending invasion.
Yeah, the captain.
The nobles.
The captain doesn't like your party because some kind of mess with skeletons, so we're having to wait at the guardhouse. Captain search the nobles.
Wait, he doesn't like lightning?
Well, you were there for the skeleton.
She was the reason they got to leave.
Guilt by association. But in the meantime, we found 10 books at the library regarding knowledge of the Revenants, so we're going to read over that while we wait. The guards don't have a map.
Ruminant.
Ruminants. Them too.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we'll give 2 books to each people, and then read them over, see what information we can get.
All right. Well, you guys spend you get to spend about 2 hours reading. What you will learn in that meantime, you will learn of the vague location of at least 2 sites that were dug up. One of them indicates was near Trotting Water, where an airship was found, and you also have one which was north of here, but it seems that they had just finished digging it out, and based on the entrance door, it was believed to be Ruminant, but it looks like it was not entered.
Ember, by the way, there's no airship here.
No airship? That was the airship they stole, god damn it.
Yeah, the information was 50 years old.
Fucking damn it. Of course.
Thanks, Boomer.
Hey, Steele's the boomer, not me. No offense.
Actually, I think Milk Thistle might be the oldest one in the group. He's 48. How old are y'all?
Okay, boomer.
I believe Alexandroid's 19.
Hey, Joe.
Yet he acts like a dad.
42, excuse me. He's 42 years old.
All right. So you guys will learn that the Ruminants were very much roamers, moving around the land, and sort of moving as a almost like a more nomadic civilization, seeking out life itself. They were quite a skittish race, and were always quite light on their hooves, and seemed to have quite clever tongues, though they were very shy and delicate spirits, as at least what the information said. It does indicate that they did eventually build cities, and when that happened, it seemed they left less often, left them, and more huddled together in regards to safety.
Okay, so normal civilization building. You build a city, it's safer there.
With that, it seemed that they found things lasted longer for themselves as well as for the next generation. And it appears that they very much were, with that, more fear grew with them, and they started to basically not travel out, stay very introverted in their cities, but they grew as a race, and it appears they developed strange magical items that harnessed magic in an unfamiliar manner. There's more information in that book, but it's almost like the person who's obviously started investigating it really doesn't understand what it is, and there's a lot of confusion and debate exactly how these magical items seem to work, because people are saying they're magical items, but yet they don't believe it's magic, at least not as you guys understand it.
Is it? I guess this would be out of character. Is it describing more technology?
Yeah.
Okay. So like instead of telepathy, using magic, we can send emails to each other, mundane, instant messaging and understanding.
Basically, yeah. But it's basically them trying to understand exactly what it is. It gives one example of what appears to be a crossbow-like weapon, except it fires what they consider to be the equivalent to scorching ray, but it seems to have what they describe almost like a repeater crossbows magazine that you would fit in, but the magazine itself didn't contain like bolts or anything, and they did state when trying to investigate further, the clip was destroyed, as well as a Porsche, as well as two people lost their lives, as well as the building was, the room it was in was destroyed as well.
Now, in this world, are there is there firearm technology like muskets at least?
Yes, very basic side of things, so very crude stuff. You've got cannons, but it's very rare to see ponies walking around with them. Ponies can utilize guns.
Okay.
My next character will be a gunslinger wizard.
Those are mean. I don't like them.
I cast gun.
The other bits of information you seem to get is around them. Some of the information appears to be, it talks about their gods again. It seems to indicate their gods were to do with the seasons, but it also indicates that they seem to move past religion. There's a clear point where they seem to no longer worship their deities anymore, at least as far as what obviously these books start going into. There's no rhyme or reason why, or them understanding or knowing why that happened.
The ruminant version of Nietzsche was born and said, "We killed God."
There was indications that they don't settle down in normal marriages. They still love and stuff, but they saw it as more as a snare made of soft ropes, threatened to steal a ruminant's freedom. So there was never a sense of mating for life or being held down as a family unit.
Oh man, so they got black-pilled as well.
That's magical item.
So they stopped getting married because they viewed it as doing what to themselves?
What's the word again? Stay there. For reasons most rumors didn't actively seek out mates, but some of them did. Often, little point in their life, they find some special someone to make them feel safe and happy. But even though they can feel, they obviously clearly felt love. They felt like a snare made of soft ropes, threatening to steal away a ruminant's freedom. So it appears that most of them did not seek out mates, but they still found them, often a little before their halfway point in their life. They would look at making families or potentially finding a mate. but it would never stay as like a normal family unit.
Okay, that's not what I wanted to do.
But that's as much as you get in the time that you guys get to read.
And how much of the books are left?
Still a good amount. You guys only got 2 hours each to go through one.
Okay.
Lightning will take her time reading everyone.
At which point the captain returns and goes, all right. So they're set up in their little, in their meeting chambers, and they will see you.
Oh, good.
If you follow me, I will lead you there. He goes, I suggest you remain respectful. You're talking to the nobility here. So watch your tongues.
Respect is a two-way street, but I'll try my best.
I put the books in my saddlebag if no one complains.
Milkthistle starts to put the books away in his, but he gives them.
Yay.
They may still.
Give the book to Nighttime.
He goes, they may still eject you from the meeting hall if they feel speaking out of turn.
We will be at our best behavior. Alexander looks to Lightning and Nighttime.
Miles.
Why are you looking at me? Do I look like the type of person who would do something stupid?
Well,
as she stares at Alexandrite.
Yeah, I was more. The captain goes, well, I'm more expecting the paladin to do something. Points to Alexandrite and goes, I'm more expecting this one to do something stupid based on the previous.
Look at that.
We have every intent to show the proper protocol and respect while we're inside the noble's chambers. Maybe get on with it.
He basically, as you guys are starting to pack up, he's telling you this. He goes, do you at least know who the nobles are?
Yes.
No.
Well, I'll leave. Well, then, as we walk, your friend here can inform you of them.
Oh god, I can't remember them out of character, but I know she was told about them.
You would know there's Duchess Lilypad, Lord.
Yeah, that one.
Lord Skystriker. You've also got you've got Lord Emberheart. You do know, and you're going to have he's not a lord. I didn't put down his title, but you have strong bags as well. When you mention Endless Story, he does mention that they've not been able to summon him, but that's mainly because he's likely still doing things over at the temple.
Yes, I remember him.
We need to do this quickly. Before midnight, I need to be back at the special.
Oh, I'm sure we can continue the meeting without you. I'm sure they'll allow you to be excused.
Hopefully the meeting won't even take that long.
Alright, so you guys are led over to one of the buildings inside of the noble section. It looks quite a fancy one. It's clearly got a central point. It's obviously designed for, or at least it's been repurposed for a place for individuals to come in and basically talk to this council. As you enter in, there are a few guards. The captain walks in with you, and you're taken into a fairly large chamber. You probably would see it as almost.
Ooh.
I want me to go and see what that was.
Okay, while the GM is gone, this is our opportunity to take over this story and create whatever we want.
Time to kill Duchess Lilypad.
I'm going to pull up all the wondrous items. You start making a list of what you want and equip it to your character. In fact, we're all level 20 now, and we're fully rested.
Hooray!
We're going to destroy this
one. Jesus literally took the wheel on this one.
You're planning to overthrow them, are you?
He's back. He's back. Yeah. We were just waiting patiently because that sounded important.
Ignore the fact we're all level 20 and have game-breaking items.
You're led into a sort of a large, what probably was once maybe a dining room or maybe even a ballroom, something just designed to hold a lot of people. And there's a sort of a horseshoe-shaped table there with various individuals sat around it. At the center, there is I've got some images actually of some of these.
Oh, big, showy.
NPCs.
We could have just talked in an office.
Oh, you summoned all of them, so.
A slightly big office.
I mean, this is technically their big office. Well, you have at the center of them Duchess Lilypad, and the captain will introduce you and point them out. He will point out the central one, who is Duchess Lilypad, who I do have an image of. Oh no, don't put it there, that's the wrong room. Here, Discord is here.
Ah, Discord.
Yeah.
Lightning is just staring at Lilypad.
Through to stare.
So you have Lord Hart, who looks like who very looks like he's probably not up to too much, but obviously still holds a position. And he looks like he has an old military uniform on, but it looks like he's obviously put it on a little bit of a hurry. And when I find Lord Skystriker, I show him. There he is. And you have strong bags. Let's see, he was.
That is one dapper gentleman.
Yes. He is an earthbound and definitely wears quite fine outfit. Definitely somebody who makes you think of a merchant more than a noble. Sadly, I don't have a picture of strong bags.
Who are you whispering to?
You. Milk, no. You can't banana the Duchess?
I'll have you know that bananas are the best fruit. If I give something a banana, that means...
They are good in potassium.
After the captain introduces them, the Duchess sort of stands up and calls out to all of you. Well, step forward and get to the point. I don't appreciate too much to be woken at this hour, but this matter is pressing, and the more information we have now, the better we can act.
Yes.
Milk Thistle looks to Whisper. Whisper?
Yes?
Well, start talking.
Well, you see, there is an army that is coming here, and I have a letter for you all, for you people to read.
You may wish to read it out.
Well, start reading it then.
He politely pulls up the letter and starts reading it out loud for them to hear.
And this is from the ruler of the Cadiston.
Yeah.
It was that's a kingdom on the outskirts of outside our land, if I remember correctly.
Past Silver Dream.
Yes. And what do they want for this with this city?
The map.
Ah. I see.
Not only that, this is a farming village, no, a farming town. Having a greater supply of food allows them to have a greater army.
Not to mention ruminant technology.
That too.
She calls over to Lord Emberheart and asks him to call upon his military background to enlighten them of this situation. He looks like he's probably just sort of woken up again, and he gives a sort of wakes up again, and but he starts talking, and he has one of those tones which is just like a long, dreary voice, which is in one continuous same tone.
For the birds.
Yeah. He goes a bit on. He definitely talks a little bit too much about how things were and how they would have dealt with it previously. And you can tell it does kind of frustrate the Duchess a little bit. And she then does turn around and go, well, that is enlightening, but what is our situation now?
They're coming.
Yes, I know that, thank you.
Now?
Please don't interrupt the Duchess.
She goes to Ember, talks to Ember. What is the situation now with our troops and equipment? He starts rambling on again. Clearly, again, seems to be talking more about a time when things were definitely in a better situation. She sort of gives a sort of a stomp of a hoof on the table and
Lord Emberheart
calls to the captain, who's sort of standing there, more watching the rest of you lot before anything. Captain, he sort of perks up. Yes, you probably have a better understanding of what's going on. What is our situation? He goes, well, we have 150 trained troops with decent equipment and nothing more than a militia of a few hundred.
That's not enough.
How many citizens in the city?
Lord Skystriker speaks up. Well, the last sort of census that we did in regards to this was a few years ago now, but he goes through a little bit of paperwork and goes, sorry, excuse me, and goes, well, the population
I didn't know he had a car.
around. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just making a joke about when you coughed in the middle of that.
He goes, well, the last population census taken was around 30,000.
How many of those do you believe would be able-bodied?
You could probably throw a sword in about half of their hands. But you'll be dealing with untrained farmers, mostly.
Well, even untrained farmers will be better than no army at all.
That's not true, Alexander. An untrained farmer is just as dangerous to his an untrained knight is just as dangerous to his allies as they are to the enemy.
Well, we also...
An untrained fighter can learn to fight.
Well, Lord Cyclone goes, well, and may I speak? We would be dealing with the situation, we wouldn't be able to arm that many persons with armor or equipment. Now, most of them wouldn't be fighting with much more than a pitchfork.
They don't need to see, most of them won't need to see live combat. Can you give them bows?
That still requires having arrows and bows.
Our main issue here is, well, the problem is we're drastically outnumbered, and this entire place is situated on a plain. We don't have any sort of tactical advantage, really.
Well, then, Duchess goes, well, it's clear then. It's about we must attempt to call in help.
That,
I mean, this is the capital after all, and it's about time that some of these other cities started understanding that they should call when the capital calls for aid. They should come.
So it's war.
Well, of course.
Well, I believe. There's only one bastion left, to my knowledge, that may even house a military.
And where is that?
And that lies greatly to the south. I'm sure you've all heard of St. Moon's Reach.
Hmm.
If I recall, that was meant to be a city, or at least a small city that consisted of entirely military forces.
We could also ask those skeletons for help.
Skeletons?
You must have heard about the incident. I was the one who led them out.
That was you?
Yes. I didn't exactly have much say in it. They wouldn't go without me.
I should have you locked up for causing a disturbance then.
Causing the disturbance? I didn't do it.
Well, if I recall, there was individuals involved that were working together to stop the town guard with dealing with the situation.
How exactly were they going to shoot a skeleton to death with arrows?
We sought a peaceful resolution to that situation.
Those arrows can now be used to help us against the living army.
I do not welcome undead in this city. If they come back here, they will be killed like the undead they are.
Are we really in a situation where we can turn away help, even if it's undead?
I'm not accepting help from skeletons. And I doubt the needful skeletons you managed to dig out of the ground are going to be of any use.
They went somewhere. And I'll clearly remember the mercy that we showed, or that I showed at least.
And and where we found the skeletons, there was war weapons, so they might know how to fight.
Yes, they did have a cache underneath there, didn't they? We didn't actually go to find everything in there.
The tribe of bones was wiped out for a reason. That we were not about to reincarnate it. So I suggest you stop any thoughts that you have going through your minds.
Do we know what direction the army is attacking from?
Please.
Well, it either has to come from the south, or from the east. If it's coming from the human lands, that's the only two places it can come from. If it comes from the south, it has to pass through Silver Dream first. If it comes from the east, if it comes from the east, then the only thing standing in its way is turves, and that's that's a tiny place, even if it still exists.
Most likely comes from the east, because Silver Dream still has that wall.
Well, they might not have the port anymore. She mumbles under her breath.
Well, it's clear that you lot want to help. I will have something drafted up, and I will send you out to go and see if you can get aid from any of the surrounding settlements.
Do we have time to help?
Well, you've brought us this news, so unless you want to see this place fall to pieces, then I suggest you help.
Forgive my brashness, but have you considered the thieves' guilds?
And what about divine intervention? You have a temple not far from where you're standing right now.
I'm sure plenty of ponies will pray to the gods, but
no.
None will answer.
You misunderstand. I'm not talking about simply praying to the gods. I'm talking directly involved in using divine power to destroy the enemy that's approaching your city.
Not everyone's a paladin or cleric, Milk.
And I'm sure the humans probably have their own equivalent as well. So,
well, one advantage you do have is the humans, according to the letter, view all of us as nothing more than animals. They likely won't be expecting any kind of real resistance. That kind of misinformation can cause them to let their guard not be expecting an intelligent defense.
Well, we will see when they arrive. I'm not going to anticipate they think we're foolish individuals.
And about the thieves' guild? I doubt they'd want their city destroyed.
Yes, well, I'm sure they will help just as the rest of the population be expected to help.
So,
I mean, they also have founts of information. Well, they probably know more about that than we do about this whole situation.
Spies would certainly be helpful.
If nothing else, they could probably smuggle out supplies from the army.
Or refugees, should you need to retreat.
We have a suitable thing if we need to retreat, but I don't plan to leave our city to be picked over by humans.
Obviously not.
Plan for that.
Anyway, we should leave the plan to the actual people in charge here. What was the mission you were going to give up?
Well, we need people who clearly explore outwards and potentially draft allies. You've talked to undead and gain knowledge of this before we have, so you clearly have resources.
If I may, there is another issue. One potentially bigger than the army.
Okay.
It might not be important now, but Before we came here and found out about the army and all that, we went to the desert. And we discovered something there. There is a ruminant that is seeking godhood, essentially, or something akin to that. And whatever it is beginning to turn the sands there black, and is able to summon creatures from other planes to hunt down things to make it more powerful and get it closer to its goal. This might sound far-fetched, I know, but it is real and it is a very big threat to everyone, even.
Well, I can't deal with every threat. I can deal with one at a time. And it sounds like the human is more pressing at this point. Your ruin will have to wait.
Yes, and if we were to help with the army, would we be able to have your assistance in this matter?
If the city still stands.
Of course. We can talk about it after then.
And no, we will see what aid you expect first.
Well, likely information, potentially soldiers. She takes out her book. Hell, even just a flux planar recoil suspension drive would probably help.
She gives you a weird look upon you saying that. Like,
she sees she's reading it from her book.
Yeah, just like, what the hell are you talking about? Soldiers, that's possible, depending on what's left. Information, I'm sure the luminance clerics can sort out whatever you need to know.
Hell, we might even need every cleric you've got, and paladin.
Well, that's when you have to take up the temple.
Of course.
But I'm sure we can encourage them.
But, yes. So, she looks at Alexandrite, Nightshine, Milk, and Whisper. Shall we deal with this army?
Well, we can at least see about getting allies. I know some people who might be able to help.
Well, I will sort out what I need. Return to us tomorrow evening. I will have everything ready for what our next step.
You may not like it, but the undead do make good meat shields.
I don't think you can convince them.
You'd rather someone you hate die than the people you're trying to protect, right? As she looks at Lilypad.
I am not going to bring undead into this city, nor welcome them with open hooves.
Okay. Hear me out, though. What if they didn't come into the city?
To pull Lightning's hair.
Instead, they flanked the enemy and came nowhere near the city.
Really, just not. Me. Okay.
Yeah, she's just basically not even going to humour what Lightning's talking about.
All right then.
Just drop it for now.
I suppose it would be a nice surprise.
You may return tomorrow evening, not as late. If you return at the closing of the shops at 6 p.m., we will discuss and we will explain what we expect of you.
Fine. As Lightning goes to leave, swishing her tail a little bit.
They clearly talking.
Thank you all for giving us your value.
Yes, thank you, and good night.
Just as soon as Lightning knows that Pad's 9. God, what an insufferable bitch.
You're not helping our cause antagonizing her.
I wasn't antagonizing her. I was giving her an option she refuses to see as beneficial when it's clearly beneficial.
Well, pressing the point isn't helping anything.
Even if the tribe of bones is small, any help can guarantee us even just another % of victory.
I agree, but you could have had us thrown out.
I could have, but I doubt it would have just been. I doubt it would have been all of us, just myself. Well, looks like I have to go digging into the tribe of bones. She says they won't be resurrected. I think they already are.
If we are to use necromancy, we need to make sure that whatever we use is destroyed afterwards. They shouldn't be allowed to be here.
God, you too?
I'm not opposed to using them, but they shouldn't be allowed to live. What they are.
You're serious.
Yes.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you people? The undead are the undead. If they wish to live, let them. But they are mindless thralls, however. Let them die. If they clearly show sentience.
Lightning. You just said something contradicting right there.
If
the undead want to live, let them live. They're already dead.
Here's what I'm saying.
Left?
Those skeletons I was with, the ones that followed me out, they clearly had something more to them than just mindless thralldom.
I don't know the story. I wasn't there.
I know you don't, but we encountered some, I guess, tribe bones underneath a mansion in the city here. They were clearly more than just mindless thralls. They had sentience, and probably even personalities if I got to know them a bit better. And I can't believe I'm the only one saying this, but they'd probably be more beneficial to us than letting them die.
They're already dead.
Letting them die again. I cannot believe I am the only one who sees the actual advantage of them.
You're not the only one, it's just that...
You're not even backing me up.
Not giving me the chance to.
Let's hear it. What's your opinion?
I agree with you that the tribe of quote-unquote bones is a good idea to help with the potential army that's coming our way. But the thing is that everyone here has been under the
They're under the impression that all necromancy is undead again.
And that
must be returned to the peace of which they so desire.
Would you shut the fuck up?
Sorry, continue. I like rambling.
Yes, I know.
Okay, calm, Alexandra, calm.
Sorry, it's been a long day for me. Anyway, it's been, 1,000 years since we've been told that the tribe of bones was the evil thing and that they've been wiped out for a reason.
About 350.
Swallow the pill. That might not be true.
Well, anyone can change.
I agree. You are one of the examples.
Cough, cough.
Hold on, what does he mean by that?
Oh, I used to have a plan to kill Alexandrite. Oh wait, I never mentioned that. Fuck.
You had a plan to kill this man. You were spooning with this woman.
Yeah, no, that's changed. I no longer have that plan. I've sort of fallen in love with this bumbling idiot.
Are you sure you're not?
She
Are you
looks
sure you don't have a
Alexandra.
Are you sure you don't have a distillery in your throat that's constantly pouring alcohol into your stomach?
She looks at Alexandra. Trust me, I do. My love is genuine.
As is mine.
Slightly addled by a love potion.
I don't know it's a love potion.
Oh, please, it was obvious. But still, look.
What time of night is it now?
You probably want to start making your way back to the temple.
Milk Thistle does just that.
Are there any guards watching us?
Yes, there is.
Look, that insufferable bitch doesn't get it.
That insufferable bitch.
She might throw up the vein of wanting to protect her people. But I've seen people like that before.
Can we talk in someplace else?
Thank you.
Yes, let's talk someplace else so I may voice my opinion.
Where do you want to go to rest for the evening?
Opal's Tavern.
It's under construction.
Ah.
Yes. Still under construction.
I'm going to the Great Park.
You can go back to your
Lightning will take Alexandra to her house.
I see you guys in the library tomorrow. And he walks away.
Yep, Lightning will take Alexandra over to her house.
Alexandra will head to Lightning.
Okay, Alexandra, look.
Where you going night to stay the night?
The Great Park.
He's at the park. He's sleeping in the tree.
Oh no, he's joining Tent City and becoming a homeless person.
Is there any other place to sleep in this town?
No, there's caverns.
You can go to the tavern, Whisper.
Where?
Either that or just turn invisible and sleep in someone else's bed.
I can't turn invisible.
Not yet.
You can go to different dimensions.
Yeah, you can sleep there.
I can't do that.
Lightning, you will know a lot of the more outer side of the city are just empty buildings.
Also, there's a lot of empty buildings literally just on the outer layers of the city.
I don't
You can
want to
literally
get
just go into one and just go to sleep. No one will care. No one will rob you. Just, she hands him her guilt symbol. No one will rob you as long as you hold that. Give it back to me in the morning.
No hospitality even from you, I got it.
Okay, look, do you want to sleep in my house? Do you want to listen to me and Alexandra fucking all night?
I'll sleep on the couch.
Alright then, I guess you will.
I have very selective.
Alright then, you're cooking dinner. And breakfast.
You're gonna get burnt food.
Well,
I have no idea how to cook.
You better learn.
Then you better like burnt food.
Alright, welcome to my humble abode. It's still slightly banged up from when that fucker went into my house uninvited.
Whoop.
But yes, I plan to go after the tribe of Bones, Alexandra.
Yes, I know.
What are you planning to do?
How many of the actual skeletons were there? Actually, no.
There weren't all that many, if I remember correctly. There was quite a number.
About 13, maybe at most.
13. They went somewhere. I want to find out where. If I have to, I'll
That was at least a month ago. Like, can you track that far?
Obviously not. But, well, you paladins are good at finding undead, right?
I can detect evil.
That's true. There has to be a type of paladin that can find undead easily, right? Or maybe a cleric.
I can make it a spell.
Yeah, there is a spell, Detect Undead.
Yes, I know that the spell Detect Undead. There's a spell Detect Life and a spell Detect Undead. Look. We can all agree, right? This city is probably fucked if they make it here.
Yes, pretty much.
But the thing is, we need this city. It's literally that, or we go to Caddiston, try and liberate there, and use the supplies from there. These are our options, really. It's either we potentially waste time and allow the ruminant, what's-his-face, to gather strength and whatever, and protecting this city, go to Caddiston, free them, or we just ditch them both. And I doubt you want to do that, Whisper. Your priority is Caddiston, correct?
Yes. But anything to help out people, I will help out.
But there's no point in there's no point in not stopping the army, because what good is saving the world if the entire world wants to treat us as animals? Options.
Well, first we should probably go after the mission that we have been after and go get those allies that we know. Then
That's true. Why you do that? I'll look for some. Wait. I remember which direction they went, right? When they left? The first time? They went to north, right?
You took them through this gate at the top here. That's where you let them out of.
And did they continue going that direction?
You don't know. You never, but you didn't watch how far they went. Plus, it was night, so you lost them quite quickly.
It's damn it. So where are we going? South, she said?
Out of character, I believe that's what she said. South.
Also, they not mentioned the army was moving to the north, so I probably don't think they're going to pass by the region.
Also, Alexandrite, I will warn you of one thing.
What's that?
I have an undying hatred for Lilypad.
Why is that?
Forgive me if something unfortunate occurs to her.
What are you planning?
I'm planning to try and control myself, although the longer I stay in her presence, the more I find myself wanting to wrench her eyes out.
Are you going to tell me why, or just completely ignore me?
She looks at Whisper. Oh. I had a partner. He was pretty much the only person who knew about my secret. And he was probably the only one who ever accepted me for it, besides from you. So of course, we were drawn to each other. Until one simple slip-up alerted that bitch to us while we were robbing her house. I get it. You probably think, oh, he probably deserved this. You were both stealing from her. She killed him. He died saving my life. And I will be damned if I do not get my fucking revenge.
Say, what secret are you?
You're going to find out sooner or later. I'm a doppelganger.
Oh. Oh.
That usually gets you the ire of quite a few people, just like being an undead would, so I can sort of relate. To the tribe of bones, at least.
I was given a few weird looks at first.
You still get it from me.
Now, I might seem cold and a little bit sadistic at times, but I admire justice just as much as you do, Alexandra. She didn't give him a fair trial. I don't wish to give her one. So if ever the opportunity arises, please forgive me.
I do not like it, but I will.
I know you don't, which is why I'm giving you the courtesy of warning.
I will not say I don't understand it, though. If something like that happened to you, I probably want the same thing.
Exactly. And now you probably understand why I sympathize with those skeletons.
I do, but we sadly do not know where they went or where the Tribe of Bones is. And as much as I would like to find them, I think that our pressing matter right now is to find the allies we do know about. Perhaps afterwards, and if we have time, we can send a scout out to look for them.
We should have probably asked for a scout to go out and see how many days we have. They are slow, like was mentioned in the letter, definitely. But they will probably make their way to Silver Dream quite quickly.
If there are any tribal bones left, there would be probably
hidden away.
Probably even more than steel would.
Maybe they're in the mountains to the north. I'm not sure. Or deep underground.
Right now, all we have
finicky when it comes to cults.
All we have right now is the locations of those ruins, so we can check out those areas.
That's all we've got to go on.
Our plate
I'm gonna
is
keep
right
my
now
eyes
just too full to focus on one thing.
All right. It sounds like you two are going a little bit in circles now. So,
yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to give you enough time to work out what you wanted to, but not let it linger too long. Milk Thistle.
Yes.
With your ceremony in the temple, this one is definitely a lot more. Again, it's sort of like ground sort of statue, but it's obviously this is clearly aimed directly at open worshippers, the clerics, those who gained divine power from the nightmare. You will sing more. You will sing sort of hymns and songs related to the nightmare herself. So that you each will gain power and stuff like that. There is also the opportunity for those who wish to. You can drink a liquid they have there and have the potential to gain a vision or a nightmare if you wish to.
Is this a drug with negative side effects?
No. This is a what was it called? this is basically something that will enhance your connection to your deity and open the conduit through the aspect of dreams to help that. So it's you are more likely to get a vision from the your deity. Sometimes it's very vague, sometimes it's hard to understand, but this is the best way to, through non-magical means, to potentially gain a vision.
Milk Thistle will happily drink from the cup.
All right, roll me a D100. Okay. Alright. If they do offer you a place to sleep in the temple, as you have chosen to drink the liquid. As being somewhere such as in the temple itself will hopefully help the nightmare find you.
I accept.
So I will have a nightmare for you that I will give you in the week between here and now. But I think this is where we will stop for the time being.
Okie dokie.
All right.
And we will start again first thing tomorrow morning. Well, in the next day.
I was like, first thing tomorrow morning.
You hear that, guys? 5:30 Central Time tomorrow morning. Go ahead and get some sleep right now. No staying up.
Let no one stop Lightning from mentioning the ruminant guy.
I didn't know it was supposed to be a secret.
I mean, it was more like stop her from mentioning the big evil thing from preventing a panic kind of thing.
I actually have an idea on how to slow this arm. So if we need to go ahead and say goodbye and stop the recording, we can discuss this after.
Good night.
Also, Whisper will attempt to cook.
Nat 20.
And don't worry, Alexander had actually mentioned steel to the knowledge people.
Lightning has a really strange idea. Well, I have a strange idea.
Yeah.
It involves Kara, but it also involves the Sun Queen.
Aha! We're gonna have to say no.
We'll say goodbye to the stream, and you guys can discuss your crazy plan. So, thanks very much for joining us. If you have.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.